welcome to Tales of Honor Podcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the true stories of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of Tales of Honor Podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, as usual, and for those who are coming back again and again, thank you so much for tuning back. And for those of you who it may be your first time dipping your toes in the water here, welcome. Take your shoes off, stay a while, have a drink. Or don't. I don't care. But welcome and thank you for tuning in. We come to you twice a week, every Wednesday and Sunday, for less than 10 minutes apiece to kind of give you a nice little window into history and telling the true stories of the Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. And tonight's episode is going to bring us back to World War II. It's being brought to you by The Bearded Detailer. Go over to thebeardeddetailer.com for all of your automotive detailing solutions and needs. There's a swag store over there. You can pick up cleaning supplies, you can pick up stickers, you can pick up even OEM maintenance parts and replacement parts. Good stuff over there. And Laminex, all the good stuff offered to you by The Bearded Detailer. And when you're about ready to check out, make sure you use the promo code TOH10, and that's going to get you 10% off your order. And the nice thing is it's not just saving you 10%, but what it's also doing is all the orders that use that promotion code, well, 75% of those orders are going to be going to the Congressional Medal of Honor Society every month. Good stuff. The Bearded Detailer, where your dirt is his business. And now, a tale of honor. Charles A MacGillivary was born on the 7th of January, 1917, in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Canada. He joined the Merchant Marines at the age of 16, and after emigrating to the U.S., Charles considered joining the Army while living with his brother in Boston, Massachusetts. It was after hearing about the attack on Pearl Harbor that made Charles decide to join the Army in January of 1942. While in boot camp, Charles and two other immigrants were taken to a federal courthouse and sworn in as U.S. citizens. After boot camp, Charles was headed to France during the Allied invasion and landed on Omaha Beach. Having survived the landing, Charles would fight throughout France until his unit, the 71st Infantry, 44th Infantry Division, became surrounded by the 17th German Panzer Grenadier Division on the 1st of January, 1945. It was here that Charles would earn the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "He led a squad when his unit moved forward in darkness to meet the threat of a breakthrough by elements of the 17th German Panzer Grenadier Division. Assigned to protect the left flank, he discovered hostile troops digging in. As he reported this information, several German machine guns opened fire, stopping the American advance. Knowing the position of the enemy, Sergeant MacGillivary volunteered to knock out one of the guns while another company closed in from the right to assault the remaining strong points. He circled from left through woods and snow, carefully worked his way to the emplacement and shot the two camouflaged gunners at a range of 3 feet as other enemy forces withdrew. Early in the afternoon on the same day, Sergeant MacGillivary was dispatched on reconnaissance and found that Company I was being opposed by about 6 machine guns, reinforcing a company of fanatically fighting Germans. His unit began an attack, but was pinned down by furious automatic and small arms fire. With a clear idea of where the enemy guns were placed, he voluntarily embarked on a lone combat patrol. Skillfully taking advantage of all available cover, he stalked the enemy, reached a hostile machine gun, and blasted its crew with a grenade. He picked up a submachine gun from the battlefield and pressed on to within 10 yards of another machine gun, where the enemy crew discovered him and feverishly tried to swing their weapon into line to cut him down. He charged ahead, jumped into the midst of the Germans, and killed them with several bursts. Without hesitation, he moved on to still another machine gun, creeping, crawling, and rushing from tree to tree, until close enough to toss a grenade into the emplacement and close with its defenders. He dispatched this crew also, but himself was seriously wounded. Through his indomitable fighting spirit, great initiative, and utter disregard for personal safety in the face of powerful enemy resistance, Sergeant MacGillivary destroyed 4 hostile machine guns and immeasurably helped his company to continue on its mission with minimum casualties. The citation mentions that Charles was seriously wounded, but what it doesn't say is that he lost his left arm. Charles told the Boston Globe that had all of this happened in summer, he would have probably died. He had stuck the stump of his arm into the cold snow, which eventually froze around the wound. Charles would receive the Medal of Honor from President Truman in September of 1945 and moved back to Boston after the war. Eventually, he would become an agent for the U.S. Customs Office of Investigations. He retired in 1975, and at the age of 83, Charles A. MacGillivary died on the 24th of June, 2000. He is buried next to his wife in Arlington National Cemetery in Section 48, Grave 568. And that was a Tale of Honor. Thank you so much for listening to Tales of Honor podcast. And hey, if you like this podcast, do the right thing and leave us a nice review, a good rating, and tell your friends and family. You can see more information on Facebook, Instagram, and at thebeardeddetailer.com/TOH podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them right on over to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Christoph Ambrosch. Thanks for listening.